Hey YouTubers, good morning, Robb. Guys, I wasn't sure I wanted to do this video. I've been making videos for 16 years. I've got a nice little channel and some really nice subscribers. And years ago, I sold stuff on eBay when I first started, and I was selling some really strange, weird stuff. And I learned if you sell weird, strange stuff, you end up getting weird, strange customers. I don't have weird, strange viewers, and this is an odd subject, and I was reluctant to talk about it. But then I had something happen once again the other day that it's just not normal. So I thought over the years things have been happening, and I thought it would be good to talk about it. No, it wouldn't be good to talk about it, but I feel I need to because there's other people out there that have the same problems or experiences, and there's no place that they can talk about it. Or we're going to be talking about paranormal stuff. We're going to be talking about ghosts. Years and years ago, when I first graduated high school, way like 100 years ago, it was the very early 70s. There was a recession, terrible economic times. And I managed to get a job with my neighbor, Bill Dixon. He was married to Bonnie Dixon, really sweet girl. And he had a job where he was a urban lumberjack. He'd cut down trees in people's yards in the city. I always thought that they should have their own reality TV show because cutting down trees in the city with little kids and neighbors and cars and power lines and telephone poles and people mad because you're staying in the yard with a rope tied to a tree across the street that's going to fall down across the road. It was exciting in some ways. And I remember one day we were coming home from a really hard day, and he was talking about UFOs. I tried to keep an open mind. I've never seen UFO. I had a good friend at work that had an amazing story. I would love to have it on here about UFOs near Homestead Air Force Base, but I keep an open mind. And he went on and on about UFOs and aliens. And so, I mean, sure, why not? When he finished, I said, "Well, Bill, what do you think? What do you think about ghost?" He said, "Ghost? That's downright stupid." And I get that, or have gotten that response in the past. So I try not to talk about it because you end up being at least being dismissed, but sometimes people would have a very low opinion of you. So we're going to be talking about ghosts, paranormal things, the things that I've experienced personally over the years repeatedly. Now, I try to come at the subject from a scientific point of view. There's like four ways, there's like four types of thinking. This is something I read. There's magical thinking. If you have a problem, you would blame it on the spirits or some supernatural occurrence. Or there's religious. If you have a problem, well, God did, or maybe it was somebody else's religion. So then you have a religious war. Or it was social, political, economic reason why this happened because so-and-so and communism or the class system or race. So and you have the scientific reason where sometimes they're wrong too. You don't want to be dismissive of any of these because they all have their place. But that's where I try to come from. Like, look for patterns. Look for patterns. Who did it happen to? What happened? What was happening before it happened? What happened after it happened? When did it happen? Where? Then why do you think, and then how can you make it happen again? Can you be there when it happens again? So try to understand it through patterns and scientific reasoning. And over the years, I've done that, but I've not been able to get rid of all of the things that happen through scientific reasons. Let me tell you what's going on. Just this isn't a big one, but it's something that's interesting that got me thinking about making this video. I had my window break in my car. My car is parked right in front of the security camera. So, good place for it. After about a week, was able to talk to a person when the security, and I'm on the phone with them as they're going through the security tape. And they're saying, this is really weird because like they can see the car window, not broken. And then there's a period of time when it is broken. But that couple of minute segment when it must have been broken, there's a glitch in the camera system. Like they can't see the video. There's a time when it's fine, and then there's like a 2 minute window that they can't get anything, and then now the window's broken. So the person was very, very helpful, and they went in and went like frame by frame, and then they were able to get like as close as they could, and there was nobody around the window, and there was no lawnmowers in that area, and there was no rocks found in the car, but they can see frame by frame, like there's like a 20-second period. It was not broken, then it was broken, and there's nobody around it in that time before or after. But the thing that the person said was weird is that, sure, maybe it didn't pick up somebody that 1 second, but why would the camera have a glitch at the same all day long? It's not a problem. Boom, right when it breaks, there's a glitch in the camera. So welcome to my world. So there's obviously must be some scientific reason for that. Whatever caused the window to break maybe caused the camera to malfunction at the same time. Maybe there was a sonic boom, there was an acoustic thing going on, or I don't know, but something, the window's broke. So, but that's not a big thing. That's just average thing happening to me. So, this could be a long video, so I'm going to break it down into several videos. So today I'm going to give you an overview. We talked about the 4 types of thinking. Talked about trying to find patterns. Then I'm going to go over those things that happened to me over the years, categorized as noises, things falling, actual visual appearances. I didn't want to bring this up, evil presence, but it is what it is. I mean, that's the creepiest one of all. Physical evidence and stuff breaking. And then at the end of the videos, I'll have a video just on things that were really weird and strange, but turns out there was a scientific reason for them. So this video, let's go over just one instance. And since we're talking about ghosts, let's go to let's cut to the chase. Let's talk about a ghost I saw. Stupid siren. Hopefully we'll get some leaf blowers. Back when I graduated, I never left home. My parents did. We lived in a really old wood-framed house up on Briggs out in the swamp, surrounded by woods in unincorporated North Miami-Dade County. And there was a gravel-top road that was a dead-end street, and there was foxes in the neighborhood and alligators and lightning bugs, and it was very wild, but if a few minutes away, you'd be in the middle of North Miami. And the place was falling apart, and so I graduated, and the rent was really cheap, like $125 a month. But it was like we had well water that you really couldn't use, and the roof was leaking, and you would touch the wall, you get shocked, and there was creepy things going on at the house. So they left, and now I'm in this 3-bedroom house all by myself, and things would happen, but there were explanations for them, like I was broke, so I disconnected the phone, didn't pay anymore. And after a few months, I was walking past it, and just as I walked past it, it rang. Holy crap, what is it, God calling? And so I picked up the phone, and I hear this girl talking, like maybe a 10-year-old, and she's talking to someone. And I said, hello? And she said, who is this? And I said, who are you? And, Mom, somebody's on our phone. So the phone company it wasn't God calling, the phone company had hooked it up. But another time I was walking through the kitchen, there was a fuse box above the doorway, and a big spark came out and fell on the floor right in front of me, like that's weird. Like I said, you touch the wall and you get shocked. And one night I was there by myself and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I hear this noise. It's a very super deep bass resonant noise, powerful. Going boom, boom, boom. Like, and there's nothing in my house that makes that noise. So where is that noise coming from? So I go to one room, then I go another, and finally I get in a hallway that's in front of the bathroom where 3 other hallways meet. That's really loud, right in that part of the house, louder than any other part. And I look up above me, there's that little door that you go up into the attic. So crap, I'm not staying in this house. Jump, jump. Like I said, the house is surrounded by woods, except right in the front, there's like a little drainage canal where you go over like a little moat to the house. And deep bass, it's almost vibrating. And I go outside, now it's even louder outside. And I think, this is weird. And then all of a sudden I hear like a train whistle. There was a really strange acoustics going on in that house surrounded by the trees. North Miami Senior High was like 15 blocks east. And I could hear occasionally at daytime the band playing, but you couldn't hear cars. So different sounds would travel. And there was a train idling like 3 miles away on the tracks that evening, and it was idling. And that noise was coming through the house and resonating. And right there in that center part of the house, it was the loudest, right where the attic was. So there's usually reasons for stuff, but the landlord wanted me out. He wanted to renovate. I didn't have any place to go, and I got in an argument with the landlord. And his son shot himself. He was in a relationship with a girl, and he broke up. And he was in the car, and he had a rifle, and his like toe or something was on the trigger, and he was talking to people, and it just his toe, whatever, it went off. It was like, I don't think, nobody really thinks he did it on purpose, but you put your toe on the trigger, and that's not a good thing. So my mom had to help the poor lady, his mother, by cleaning out the car and everything, and it was a terrible situation. Well, sometime after that, I'm in the bed, daytime, maybe late afternoon. I was taking a nap. Didn't have a job. I'm still thinking, what am I going to do? I don't have a job. I'm not working. I'm not going to school, and I have to find something. And they want me out of here. And so like there's a lot of drama going on, and I'm laying down in the bed, and there's a doorway over here into the bedroom, and here's the bed, and there's wall, and a window behind me. And this person comes in right next. Actually, the person just appeared right there, right by the side of the bed. And he had on, a young guy, kind of looks like me a little bit. And he had a shirt with checks about the size of postage stamps. And I think it was brownish red. And so you always imagine if something was to happen, how you would react. So I'm laying in bed, and somebody appears next to the bed, and I don't move. I'm just freeze. I'm scared to death. And the person is looking at me and begins to move. And once he begins to move, I realize this is happening. It's not my imagination. And then when he gets down to the foot of the bed, like I can see him even like more clearly, because I can see like it's not just like a head there, but the whole body is there. And now he's coming around to the other side of the bed. I could have like jumped up out of the bed and ran out the door, but I don't. And I'm just frozen there. And so he's coming over to the side of the bed, and now I feel cold sweat all over me, like just like prickly hair. And he's coming closer and closer to me, and like I don't scream or yell or stop. I just hold up my hand like that's going to help, you know. And then as he gets closer and closer to the hand, then he just sort of fades and disappears. Like, I'm thinking, I need to remember this or write it down or something, because I'm going to think later on I imagined this. And I may have written it down, but one thing I did, I committed to memory that the shirt had little tiny squares like the size of a postage stamp. So whenever I see somebody wearing a shirt that's checked, I think, is that the shirt? But I tried to remember what the person looked like. And later on, as I thought about it, he kind of looked a little bit like me. That would be weird. I didn't understand what that meant, even to this day. And I never have been able to, or wanted to really, see a picture of the young son that killed himself to see if that was the person. And it's been such a long time, I wouldn't remember exactly what he looks like anyway. But that was my ghost experience. Now, most of the time, not always, but the majority of the time, when people have a ghost or paranormal experience and they see an image, they've been sleeping and they woke up. And what's happening, they think, is in between sleep and awake, these people are having an image while they're still asleep, but they're awake, but their mind, their brain is still in a sleep state. So our perception is reality. They think these people are having that dream, and they can't tell the difference between being in a dream and being awake. And once they get out of that state, that experience lives in their memory as something that happened to them while they were awake, fully awake. So that's the very condensed version of what a lot of people think are happening when people see ghosts and so on, because so many of them are happening right after they woke up or they're in bed and so on. So, but there are so many other things that happen to people. And also, people sometimes see people and they're not asleep, they're not in bed, they haven't been taking a nap. So you can't be dismissive of all these sightings and things that are happening. But at the same time, you want to have an open mind and try to find rational, logical reasons for them. I don't have reasons for all of that. So we're going to be going over in the next videos, because we went over the 4 types of thinking and how to look for patterns, and the number one reason that people, they think, see ghosts. But we're talking about noises, things that I've heard, things that have fallen on me, visual experiences with my relatives, evil presence. I don't want to talk about that, but I think I have to. Physical evidence, which is interesting, stuff that's broken. Also, we'll do one video just on things that seemed like there was something there, and it turned out that there was a logical explanation for. So if you like this video, we're going to be having some more. This isn't going to become the paranormal channel, but it's a variety channel. I always have different things, so I thought this was worth having, because there's so many people out there, I think, that have had these experiences, and everyone is so dismissive of them that they deserve some investigation into the subject, I think. So hopefully you found this interesting, and we'll be having some more ghost stories that happened to me. That's downright stupid. Bill Dixon, wherever you are, hope you're doing well. Actually, he passed away. Bonnie Dixon, hope wherever you are, you're doing okay. All right, guys. See you in the next video.